moment I crossed the threshold of the Airbnb, an oppressive presence descended upon me like a suffocating shroud. The host's welcoming smile revealed a glimmer of something sinister lurking beneath. Their eyes, void of warmth and humanity, sent a chill down my spine. Ignoring the warning signs, I forced a smile and entered the rental. Night fell, and with it came an unnerving transformation. The house seemed to come alive, its walls pulsating with a malevolent energy. Whispers, faint but unmistakable, filled the air, carrying a sinister melody that sent shivers racing across my skin. Every step I took echoed with an otherworldly resonance, as if the house itself was aware of my presence. As the days turned into a never-ending nightmare, the house's true nature revealed itself. The air grew heavy with the stench of decay, a sickly sweet odor that clung to my clothes and invaded my senses. Shadows danced along the walls, their twisted forms contorting with malice. Cold drafts brushed against my skin, carrying with them the whispers of forgotten souls trapped within the house's dark embrace. I ventured into the depths of the house, driven by a morbid curiosity that clawed at my sanity. In the forgotten recesses of the basement, I stumbled upon a room shrouded in darkness. The air turned frigid, and an unseen force urged me forward. There, in the center of the room, lay an ancient Ouija board, its weathered surface etched with cryptic symbols. Against my better judgment, I dared to touch the planchette. The room erupted with an unnatural chill, freezing my breath and paralyzing my senses. In the flickering candlelight, ethereal figures materialized, their spectral forms contorted with eternal anguish. Their eyes filled with an insatiable hunger, fixated on me, their moans of despair resonating deep within my soul. Nightmares consumed my nights, trapping me in a realm of unspeakable horrors. Demonic entities taunted me, their twisted laughter echoing through the halls of my mind. I could feel their icy breath on my neck, their presence an inescapable torment that gnawed at my sanity. The Airbnb rental appeared to be an enchanting retreat, nestled amidst the serene beauty of nature. But the moment I stepped foot inside, an overwhelming sense of unease settled upon me, as if the very walls held secrets too dark to comprehend. The host's smiles seemed forced, their eyes hiding a deep-seated malevolence. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the house transformed into a haven of terror. Unseen whispers slithered through the hallways, their voices distorted and laden with malice. The floors creaked under an invisible weight, each sound a chilling reminder of the restless spirits that prowled the premises. The air turned thick, a suffocating miasma that carried the scent of decay and despair. Unexplained phenomena plagued my stay. Objects moved of their own accord, levitating in defiance of gravity before crashing against the walls. Eerie whispers echoed through the empty rooms, taunting me with cryptic warnings and dire prophecies. The walls themselves seemed to come alive, bleeding a dark, viscous liquid that defied any logical explanation. Driven by a morbid curiosity, I delved into the history of the Airbnb. Tales of a gruesome crime echoed through the town's whispers, a family slaughtered within those very walls, their blood staining the floors where I now stood. It was said that their restless spirits, tormented by their untimely demise, sought retribution against any who dared to occupy the cursed space. Each night brought new terrors. Shadows materialized, elongated and menacing, dancing along the walls with a malevolent glee. The air grew colder, the temperature dropping to bone-chilling levels. Faces of the departed manifested in the mirrors, their eyes filled with anguish and hatred, their ghastly visages etching themselves into my very soul. Sleep became an elusive sanctuary, for nightmares lurked in the recesses of my mind. I found myself trapped in a twisted labyrinth of terror, pursued by unseen horrors that relished in my fear. The line between waking and dreaming blurred, leaving me in a perpetual state of unease and dread. The Airbnb, a quaint cottage nestled in the heart of the woods, beckoned to me with its promises of solitude and serenity. Little did I know that it harbored a darkness that defied all reason. The host's smile, though seemingly genuine, held a glimmer of something sinister lurking beneath. From the moment I stepped inside, a sense of foreboding settled in the pit of my stomach. The air grew heavy, as if an invisible presence pressed against my chest, making each breath a struggle. The walls whispered secrets, their words laced with ancient curses and forbidden knowledge. Shadows slithered along the floor, their movements sinuous and unnatural. Nightfall unleashed a torrent of terror. The house came alive with unseen forces, their whispers growing louder, more insistent. In the dead of night, the furniture rearranged itself, defying logic and reason. Strange symbols etched themselves onto the walls, pulsating with an otherworldly glow. The very foundation of the Airbnb seemed to shift, as if the house itself was alive, morphing into a malevolent entity. I ventured into the attic, drawn by an invisible hand that tugged at my curiosity. The moment I ascended the creaking staircase, a wave of dread washed over me. In the dim light, I discovered a dusty tome, its pages filled with incantations and rituals that promised unimaginable power. The forbidden knowledge within its ancient pages unleashed a darkness that enveloped the house. Unearthly moans echoed through the hallways, their lamentations a symphony of suffering. Faces appeared in the windows, their eyes devoid of light, their mouths twisted in eternal anguish. I felt a presence at my side, a cold breath against my ear, whispering promises of eternal damnation. The line between reality and nightmare blurred, trapping me in a waking terror from which I could find no escape. Sleep became a torment as dreams turned into harrowing visions. I found myself entangled in a web of nightmares, pursued by grotesque creatures that hungered for my soul. Their claws tore at my flesh, their laughter a cacophony of insanity. I became a vessel for their malevolence, a pawn in their never-ending game of torment. As I stepped foot into the Airbnb, an overwhelming sense of dread washed over me like a tidal wave. The host's smile seemed unnaturally wide, stretching across his face in a macabre grin. The walls of the house appeared to pulsate, as if they were breathing, inhaling, and exhaling with a life of their own. I brushed off my unease, attributing it to an overactive imagination. The nightfall brought forth an onslaught of nightmares. Whispers echoed through the corridors, their words incomprehensible yet laden with malice. The paintings on the walls came alive, their subjects contorting into grotesque forms before my very eyes. The air grew thick with a putrid stench, as if the scent of death permeated every corner of the house. In the basement, I stumbled upon a hidden room, its door concealed behind a bookshelf. The room was a chamber of horrors, adorned with blood-stained tools and ominous symbols etched into the walls. It was then that I realized the true nature of the Airbnb. It served as a hunting ground for a sadistic serial killer, his dark desires satisfied by luring unsuspecting guests into his lair. I became the prey, stalked by an unseen predator that reveled in my fear. Each step I took, I could feel his presence closing in, his breath hot against the back of my neck. The house became a labyrinth of terror, shifting its layout to disorient me, trapping me in an inescapable maze of horror. Sleep offered no respite, as nightmares merged with reality. I found myself trapped in a perpetual loop of terror, reliving the gruesome murders that stained the walls of the Airbnb. The line between victim and perpetrator blurred, as the house's malevolent energy consumed my very soul. The Airbnb, a majestic mansion perched atop a hill, exuded an air of grandeur and elegance. But beneath its opulent facade lurked a darkness that threatened to consume all who entered. The host, with a disconcerting smile, welcomed me into the house, his eyes glinting with a sinister gleam. I dismissed my unease, attributing it to the tales of the house's haunted history. The grandeur of the mansion soon turned into a sinister stage for nightmarish events. The walls bled, crimson rivulets cascading down the ornate wallpaper. Eerie laughter echoed through the corridors, sending shivers down my spine. Apparitions materialized in every room, their translucent forms distorted with agony and rage. In the attic, I discovered a collection of macabre artifacts, an altar adorned with blood-stained candles, ancient grimoires filled with dark incantations, and a mirror that reflected a distorted version of reality. As I stared into the mirror, my reflection twisted and contorted, revealing a grotesque visage that was not my own. The house became a labyrinth of shifting dimensions, each hallway leading to an abyss of terror. Doors slammed shut on their own accord, trapping me in rooms with no escape. The very architecture of the mansion defied logic, warping and contorting as if guided by an otherworldly force. Sleep became a realm of torment as nightmares merged with the waking world. I found myself trapped in a cycle of hallucinations where the mansion's spectral residents tormented me with their unearthly presence. Their ethereal touch burned my skin, their whispers eroding my sanity.